Welcome back to my channel. Let's talk about it, guys. I want to talk to you about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady, number 12, six-time Super Bowl champion. I want to talk to you today and just see what you guys are thinking about, Brady's free agency, his move to Tampa Bay, why he left the New England Patriots, the weapons that he has now with the Bucs. What do you think their record is going to be, right? So, and contracts, right? So first off, Brady, he signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this offseason as a free agent at the age of 42. He will be 43 years old in the beginning of the season, the 2020 season opener against the New Orleans Saints, which is their rival. And the NFC South that he's in, he was just in the AFC South for 20 years. So this is his first year in the NFC. And his rivals, his competition will be the New Orleans Saints, which has Drew Brees, hell of a team. They were 13-3 last year. Atlanta Falcons, and they have the Carolina Panthers that just signed Teddy Bridgewater, which should be their franchise quarterback, right? So the Buccaneers, they finished off the 2019 season led by Jameis Winston. They went 7-9, and Winston, he showed some promise, but he threw a lot of interceptions just as much as he threw touchdowns. He threw about 33 touchdowns with 30 interceptions. So he was offense, and then he became the defensive player of the year by throwing all those interceptions. But he threw 5,000 yards. So that was a big jump from the year prior in 2018. I think he had under 3,000 yards, so he definitely doubled his yardage and throwing, and he's about 60% completion passer, Jameis Winston. But this is definitely a big upgrade from Winston with Tom Brady, and people are already saying that Tom Brady is already the greatest quarterback ever in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers franchise history. So, and he hasn't even thrown one pass yet. But again, this is Tom Brady, arguably the best quarterback of all time. I'm more of a Peyton Manning fan, guys. Say what you like. I love Peyton Manning. I think he was a better pocket passer, but Brady was more of a winner when it counted, but Peyton's my guy. I want to talk about, too, why Tom Brady left the organization of the Patriots. And we all know Brady, he was with Bill Belichick. They had great success for 20 seasons, 20 years, right? But we noticed the last 2 years, we heard a lot of rumblings from different trades, lack of a great contract, and weapons. Tom Brady didn't have his weapons. So I know Tom Brady wanted a 2-year, $60 million deal from the Patriots, but they didn't want to give that to him. So signing with the Buccaneers, again, this was a shock to everybody that he went to Florida to play with the Buccaneers, that he received a 2-year, $50 million deal, and he has some other incentives as well, depending on how many season games he wins, playoff wins, take the team to the playoffs, things like that, the incentives that he does have with that. So, they were eager to have him. And with Bruce Arians, second-year coach with the Bucs, he came out of retirement to coach the Bucs. But he's very excited and thrilled that he has Tom Brady, where he considers one of the greatest players to ever play the game. So he feels like that's a big upgrade for the team. And I know Brady, he was happy about Bruce Arians leading the way. Offensive coach Brian Leftwich, he's up and coming assistant with the team. And I know last year, again, their record was 7-9. So what their record is going to be this year, we don't know. But having Brady is a big upgrade. So if they win 7-9, I can easily see them being, 12-4, maybe 13-3, right? 13-3, 12-4. I think that would be a great record. That would be a definitely a big turnaround from last year to this year. But going undefeated and 15-1, 14-2, I doubt it, because they have some people on their roster that I do like, and I think. And I'm going to touch on these players. So they got Chris Godwin. He's the wide receiver, young guy. Last year, I know he caught 9 touchdowns, a little over 1,300 yards. So he's definitely their star wide receiver, because Mike Evans is another one. He is their star receiver, but he the yardage, the receiving yardage went down a little bit. He was a little over 1,100 receiving yards with 8 touchdowns. But the problem is he needs to get more touches. And with Brady and under the helm at quarterback, he will get more touches. And we cannot forget Rob Gronkowski, that played 9 seasons with Tom Brady, which was his only quarterback. And Gronkowski, he did retire after, was it the 2018 season, because they actually wanted to trade Gronkowski in New England, right? They wanted to trade him to the Lions. He said, hey guys, I ain't going to no Lions. If you try to trade me, I'm going to retire, because he only wanted Brady to be his quarterback. He didn't want another quarterback, rightfully so, because that two tandem, they're the 5th in history, that tandem, quarterback receiver tandem, to have the most touchdowns as a combo, right? And I think it's 78, and that's double what they had with Randy Moss. Randy Moss was, I think, 38 or 30, I think 39 touchdowns that he had just thrown to Randy Moss. So, you know, having 78 touchdowns, that's hell of a passing duo. And Gronkowski was excited about going to Tampa Bay, coming out of retirement, and he came out to say in an interview recently that it wasn't planned. You know, he did talk to Brady prior, you know, say, hey, what are you looking to do? Tampa Bay was one of the teams that they spoke about, but he wasn't sure where he was going. And Gronkowski said to him, hey, wherever you go, I'm going. And look what happened. He came out of retirement. Now he's there. So that's a hell of a weapon. If he can play Gronkowski, those two, for 2 years, wow, it's scary. And, you know, I'm a Giant fan, guys, and that's in the NFC. So that's just scary in itself. And you have, so Mike Evans, so I think he'll get some more receptions. And we have, I guess, their star running back, Ronald Jones II. My only issue with Ronald Jones, he didn't have as many touches, and his yardage, if he can get over 1,000 yards running and some receiving yards, that'd be great. I know he had over 700 rushing yards with 6 touchdowns. It's good, but it's not great, right? And then the other running backs they're not proven yet. They didn't really do much, but let's look out for those guys. And then on the defensive side, you have Dominic Sue. You have him on a defensive tackle. You know, we all know what he's about. He's a rough rider himself. And we got JPP, Jason Pierre-Paul. So JPP, I know he played about, 10 or 12 games last year, and he had about 8 sacks. And the year prior, he played all 16 games, and he had 12 and a half sacks. So I want to see him play all of his games if he can, because health, attrition, that matters, right? So we know how football is with injuries and things like that. But if he can give him, as linebacker, that defense that we know he can bring, right? If he can get over 12 or more sacks, this team, well, they're definitely a Super Bowl contender just having Tom Brady on their team. But he was smart. Brady was smart. He said, I'm going to go to that team. I know it has weapons that I need. You got Mike Evans. You got Chris Godwin. Hell, they got defensive players. They're on their way. They got the coaching. The only, to me, that their competition that's going to be in their way, to me, is the New Orleans Saints. And again, they're going to open up the season in New Orleans against Drew Brees. So this is an exciting time to be watching the NFL, guys. It really is. And I think that changed the game when Brady went to Tampa Bay. I want to know what you guys are thinking. Tell me what you think Tampa Bay is going to do under Brady. Is he going to have an MVP season? And we know with age and attrition, he's going to be 43. And, he's a great pocket passer, and he can release that ball a little over 2 seconds. So let's see what he does. Do you guys think he's going to be the MVP of the year or MVP candidate? And do you think that he's going to lead this team as constructed, not just to the playoffs, but deep in the playoffs? Maybe a Super Bowl. We don't know. But it's exciting to talk about him. It's exciting to talk about this team, Tampa Bay. The last time I was excited talking about the Buccaneers, I think, is when they won the Super Bowl. I think when they had baby Chucky, was it Gruden? Was it Gruden? And was it 2003 with Keyshawn Johnson? That's when they had a hell of a team. That's the last time I really thought about them. So thanks for supporting my channel. Guys, make sure you like this video, share it if you can, subscribe to my channel, and look out for more videos. I have some great ones coming. So y'all be well, and peace and love.